Hey everybody, it is Wednesday Mindset Power Planning. I love doing Wednesdays. I'm Sandra Delbeck out of Lebanon, Ohio, and I love doing Wednesdays because for me, it's the middle of the week. Like it is for most people, you're looking at what do you need to accomplish for the rest of the weekend, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a game plan as you go into the beginning of next week. We have exactly 1 week left in the month after today. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, well, as of today. Next Wednesday will be the last day of March, which is mind blowing. So the first thing that we're going to start with, we're going to always start with our positives. That's something I learned as a teacher. And we're going to start with our positives. And so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write down your gratefuls, the things that you're grateful for. All right, once you've done your gratefuls, I want you to go ahead and move into your I ams really quick. I'm going to mute so that y'all don't have to hear me say mine. You can tell there's a lot of people on spring break. And you can also tell it at the Y. The number of people coming in right now this week is pretty low compared to last week. Okay, so we're going to get to something really cool, and everybody else that will watch it on replay will have to do it without all of our gems that we're going to share and so forth. All right, but the next thing I want you to do is I want you to move into your birthdays. And if you did not do your birthday reach outs today, whether you do copy and paste or put a cute picture or however, I want you to pop in and do your birthdays. If you know tomorrow's going to be busy, go ahead and pop in there and start working on your birthday, for tomorrow. All right, you can always go in and you can finish up doing birthdays afterwards if you need to. Now we're going to move into our Cloud Office. And of course, I was logged in and got kicked out. All right, let's go in and let's take a look at what your current QV is. And if you're watching this on replay and you've never done this and you're trying to figure out what it is that I'm doing, what I'm doing is we're going in and we are figuring out what our rate of run is. You may have a goal that you want to be at 4K, but if you don't know what growth you're having each day and what your rate of run is, rate of run helps give you the projected amount of where you're going to be at a certain point in time. And so you're going to log into your Cloud Office. You're going to scroll down until you see Business Snapshot. I'll just scroll. And take a look at what your QV is, your current QV. I'm writing that number down real quick. Take that current QV. Got to get my calculator over here in the light. And we're going to divide it by 24. And the reason that we're using the number 24 is because today is the 24th of the month. So we're going to divide it by 24. And then you're going to come up with a smaller number. That smaller number tells you kind of your average, your team's daily average of what y'all have had so far each day this month. Now, take that amount, that average, and multiply it by 31 days because March has 31 days. And that will tell you what your rate of run is. Now, I check my rate of run every single day. What it's telling me right now is that I'm going to be about $400 short of my goal if I don't kick it in gear just a little bit more. And, but if I didn't check my rate of run, I would think, oh yeah, things look hunky-dory. Don't forget, you do have auto ships coming out, starting processing tonight at midnight. And if there's anyone that you did not notify, you may be wanting to get on the horn and chat with them. And if you're not sure how to check where your auto ships are, go back up, scroll back up to the top and click your little bars, or whether you're on your computer, click underneath my team, scroll all the way down to where you see my customers, scroll across, double click next auto ship, and that will tell you who actually has an auto ship going out tomorrow. Now, if you don't have anyone that's going out tomorrow and you've already notified them and what have you, go ahead and kind of take a peek. Okay, when's the next auto ship going to be coming out? April the 5th. I know Tammy has a little desk calendar. Hers is bigger than mine. But each month I check mine. I put those people's names down on that auto ship date. I haven't filled in all of April yet, so don't panic. But anyway, I've put their names down on the auto ship date. And then I usually am messaging them about life, whatever, 4 to 5 days. But 9 times out of 10, these people I'm already talking with anyway. And then pay attention to what they're doing. Then that's a good segue into talking about their auto ship. I have a lady who has an auto ship underneath her husband. And, you know, we were chatting. I said, look, I know you've got a lot of stress and going on and what have you, but I said, you know, right now you've got your black labels in there. Are you wanting to keep it with your black label right now? Or do you want to try a different DFT? And she said, let's just keep it the way it is for right now. But I think next month I want to switch things up, which that's totally what I would do, because this is the time frame. Well, now I've got my pink and white label on, but this is the time frame that I start switching up my label patches for my burn. I do still have Thrive Against Cancer, but I've got to get my burn ordered because that's what I use all through the summertime. All right, so you've got that done. Have you gotten some of your social media posts done today? There's one more thing I want to do tonight before I go to bed. And I had already shared something like about an hour or so ago. So I'm waiting until probably sometime between 8 and 9 o'clock. And that's when I'm going to share my story, not my personal story, but a story from the Lavelle Facebook fan page. This time I'm going to actually share it to my Facebook wall, and I'm going to share it to my Instagram page. because you can go in and you can share, whether you want it in your Facebook, you can actually put it up in your stories. You can do some copying and pasting and things like that, but put it in different places each time you share. I tend to choose the ones that are not the longest to read, not that those are not important, but I also tend to choose some right now that are not necessarily day one thrivers, because not everybody is a day one thriver. Now, I will admit, y'all, that I felt something day one. Now, Tammy didn't feel anything until day 13. Sonia, I was going to say she decomposed. Oh, that is so the wrong word. Sonia, who's on here right now, she detoxed for 8 weeks, nearly 8 weeks. And she thought Tammy and her promoter, Laura, were nuts for having her just keep on, plugging through. Now, one of our other friends who's on here right now, Lisa Wallace Cook, I don't know at what point Lisa felt hers. I don't know if she was like day 3, day 5, or whatever. So I try to share varying. Oh, she was day 10. Holy moly, y'all. See, not everybody's a day one thriver. So that's why I try to share a variety of stories of not just everybody says, oh, I was a day one thriver. Well, because then that sets the expectation in, these people's minds. Oh, I'm going to be a day one thriver. And if they're not, then they're sorely disappointed. But that's like I always tell them, hey, look, you didn't get to be a Victoria's Secret model in 7 days when you go into the gym. You're not going to become a Victoria's Secret model in 7 days on Thrive. You're going to have to keep plugging through and go through the detox. I talked with a customer last night at the Y, and she was out of town last weekend, and she lived it up. She ate great. She drank great. And she goes, I'm paying for it. And I said, you may find that you're going to end up going through like another little detox. And she goes, oh yeah, I am. Now she's been thriving for a month. So she could have been thinking, okay, something's wrong. I said, you know what? That's totally normal. She said, I figured it was with all the junk I had eaten. And so, that's why checking in with your customers is so important, because I went through like a secondary detox and I was thinking, oh my gosh, what happened here? But depends on what you're putting in, depends on what has to get pushed out and so forth. So that's why, and like Tammy has talked about before, we don't have a department at Lavelle that's emailing all of your customers, telling them, hey, your order's getting ready to ship. You are your first line of customer service. What kind of customer service are you giving your people? What kind of customer service do you want to be known for? And sometimes it means you are going to extremes for some folks that you might not necessarily have to do for a lot of other people. And that's okay. Some people, you can keep them happy. Some people, they're just not going to be happy no matter what. But you know what? You're going to provide the best customer service. And that's what we do. Okie dokie. All right. I learned something new yesterday in the notes section that I want to share with y'all that you may find super helpful. Now, if y'all already knew about this, don't laugh me out the other side of the door, what have you. But I use my notes section profusely. And I wish there was a way. And if there's a way, oh my gosh, Charlie just cranked up the TV, that there's folders that I could hide everything in and put everything in, that would make my life so much easier. But so yesterday when I got my shot, they gave me my little card. They're like, don't lose it. And they said, take a picture of it and put it in your notes section. And she said, actually, you can scan it into your notes. And I went, huh? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that you can scan something into your notes? Okay, look at Sonia. Well, of course she did. She's a legal secretary. She's a legal girl. But so if you did not know this, I'm going to teach you something new. So go into your phone, go into your notes section, click on a new note, and across the bottom, it gives you the options if you want big print, a little circle so you can check things off. And then there's a camera, okay? And when you click the little camera, it says choose photo or video, take photo or video, or scan documents. Shut the front door. So I clicked scan documents. I put my card underneath, and right when I had it in the right view, I clicked the button and accepted it. So now when I need anything to do with my vaccination card, voila, there it is. I scanned it in. Now that I know that, y'all, my life is going to get so much easier. Also realizing that I can choose videos to put in here, because I have a video that's super short that I made, I don't know, a year or so ago, probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, about what the person needs to do when they have their Thrive sample. All right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to open it up. You're going to blah, 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 blah. I have a video. Y'all, I'm always having to go dig for that video, but I can choose it, put it here in my notes section, make it, do something to where I find it first thing, and I'll know exactly where it is and what have you, rather than digging through my 12,000 photos and videos. So this rocked my world last night. So if y'all didn't know that, you know that now. Or if you're like Sonia, you already did know. Okay. All right. For those of us that are on here, Tammy challenged us the other night. And then if you're watching this on replay, you know what? You can totally join in our challenge. The last 10 days of the month, this started Sunday, I believe. Yeah, Sunday. And we were talking about, hold on, let me flip. Sorry. Yeah, it was on Sunday, about how you can maximize the size of your goal can only grow with the size of your commitment. So what is your commitment? If your commitment is 5 reach outs a day because your life is crazy and busy, then you know what? You are committed to those 5 reach outs a day. Reach outs, as you remember, are just connecting with people. That does not always have to be about Thrive. So I want you to take a look at your commitment of reach outs a day. If you don't feel like 5 or 10 is enough, then what is enough for you to do? I have set a really high goal for myself. And sometimes that job I go to at the Y really gets in my way. And last night I didn't get to finish. So I'm working on finishing that today. And so that's packed on to the ones I'm trying to do right now. Tomorrow I have the babies and Friday. So I may have to give myself a little bit of grace, but I'm going to plow through and try to get all of them done, even with having the babies. I'm a huge proponent of using your voice. So get in there and, like Tammy said, do your lives. I do not send very many text messages. I send voice clips. And the reason I do is not because it's impersonal, but I think it's more personal. But also, y'all, I cannot type very fast. And I always tell people I can talk faster than I can type. I have a promoter on my team, and she said, you need to quit sending me those voice clips. She goes, I can't listen to them. And I said, well, guess what? I can't type. So this is how you're going to get it. I said, you either listen to them or you don't know what's going on. So that's how I roll. We are finally opening up, and most of where everybody lives, I believe everybody's opening up. Texas doesn't require the masks right now. Some places do, but this means we're able to finally start doing locals again. We have one here in Lebanon tomorrow night at 6:30 at the YMCA at the event center. And then I'm actually, with 2 of my promoters, we're hosting a local in Wichita Falls soon after Thrive-A-Palooza. So I know that Lisa's got one scheduled that she's working on scheduling over in Oxford. And, but we can start doing these. Y'all, do you realize it's been over a year? I think February of last year was the last time we got to do one. So it's time for us to get out in full drove and force. And if you're like, I don't know how to do one, you know what? Get with your upline, get with a sideline and say, I've never done a local, let's do one. If you're not sure how to do a virtual live, which is what I had Tammy go over the other day. And you know what, y'all? I have actually never done a virtual live, virtual Thrive local on Facebook, simply because I didn't really know how to set it up. Okay, she went over it the other day. I could have already gotten on the horn with her and said, this is what I want to do, but I don't know exactly how to do this. Tell me how to do it. I could have already done it. I don't know what I was sitting around waiting for. So y'all don't sit on your laurels and wait for somebody to tell you how to do something. So there's 2 ways you can do a Facebook event. You can do where you invite people to come on there with you, and you can go into StreamYard. StreamYard.com is a great way that you can do a video with up to 4 people on there, a live video. You can do a Zoom virtual event. You can create an event actually within Facebook land. And then whenever people are invited, you're going to have folks that are going to be sharing their story. You're going to actually go live onto your own page and then share it into the event. So it's actually a whole lot easier than what I've even made it sound like. I'm starting to kind of get parched a little bit, so I apologize. Are you taking action towards your dreams? Are you still working on the thing that it is that you are wanting to learn? And if you're new to my Wednesday night Zooms, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we talked about what is it that there's something that you don't know how to do that you want to learn how to do. I hadn't even thought about the Thrive Facebook lives that I didn't know how to do. Not the lives, but the events, a virtual event. Didn't even think about that. I was thinking like higher things that are going to, that require me to know more skills when it comes to my social media, like an Instagram and things like that. But what is it that you want to learn more of? Have you been diving in? Mine is TikToks. I'm still diving in. And we've got people on our team who are fabulous at TikToks. I just need to go over to her house and have her show me how to do them, because when she pops one up on her wall, I laugh hysterically. So Courtney, if you're watching the replay of this, girlfriend, I need to come over so you can help me learn how to do TikToks, just like you. And that's just it. If somebody is doing something and you don't know how to do it, ask them. They are going to be more than willing to help you out and more than willing to show you and walk you through the steps. The leaders in this organization, if they're worth their weight in salt, every single one of them is more than willing to help show you something and show you how to do something to help better yourself. That's one of the great things I love about this organization is I have never met a selfish promoter yet to this day. Everyone is always willing to pour into someone else. Even on the bus headed to the airport in Cabo, there was a lady in front of me and she's higher ranked than I am. And she was more than willing to pour into me and show me how to do some things. People are always willing. Okay, now I was trying to come up with something really cool that I could do tonight, just to kind of get you guys thinking a little bit. So I want you to take on your notepad, your note paper, notebook paper, whether you're doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet, whichever, turn it over on the back. You just need to have some room. And of course, this is the teacher in me. I have written the word confident, like an acrostic poem. So I want you to write the letters that spell confident going down the page. CONFIDENT. Every single one of you that's watching this right now, or whether you're watching it on replay, every single one of us is confident. Sometimes we get the creepies getting in our brain and they scare us. Okay. So I've got chat group open. That way you can throw in some ideas if you want to. When it comes to you and your business, every single one of you has confidence and you are confident in what you're doing. You may think, oh, I'm not confident yet. I've only been a promoter for a month. Guess what? You have more confidence than the person who hasn't even joined yet because you're already a month in. So when it comes to your business, I want you to take a look at this and I want you to come up with a descriptive word for the C that describes you and this business. Now, I'm going to preface this. Yes, I know that we can come up with some negative connotations. We've got the negative Nancy in our head. Every single one of these that you're going to write down has to be a positive attribute, a positive descriptive of yourself. Okay, I know that's hard to do, but I want everybody to do that. So the first one, I'm going to give you a freebie. The very first one that I came up with in my mind, because any promoter I have ever met is caring. You don't do this business if you don't care about people. Now, there may be other words that you're writing down for yourself, and that's more than that. You're more than welcome to. And you can put down more than one word. When it comes to O and your business, what is a positive descriptive word for you or that this business has? I won't tell you every single one of mine, but I came up with 2 right off the bat for O. Organized. My teaching career taught me how to be organized. Now I do squirrel from time to time, but I am very organized when it comes to things like this. And the other word that came up was opportunities. This business provides us opportunities that we have never even imagined. We have an opportunity to get to go to Thrive-A-Palooza. This may be your first year to get to go to Thrive-A-Palooza. This is a huge opportunity. And if you have been in this business for a while, just think about all the opportunities you've had because of this business from day one to now, what you've been able to have happen for you, your family, your loved ones, people that you care about. For N, come up with another one. And no, you cannot put the word negative. I'm not going to let you. Don't even do it. I see you, Lisa. Now, I will tell you, when I got to the first N, I really was like, and I went to go look for my blue dictionary that I stole from my high school, my senior year, that I've had for 35 years plus. And I can't find it. I think my girls have it. So I have this blue dictionary that I stole from high school. I'll admit it. And it is my go-to dictionary. And so I'm going to have to find out which one of my daughters has it. So yes, I went online. I'm old school, but I like my blue dictionary. And the first word that I came to that was started with an N was numerous. There are numerous amounts of opportunities for us to reach out to people. There are numerous amounts of people that are out there that need to thrive. They need what you have. And if you ever feel like you've talked to everybody, no, you haven't, then it's numerous, the folks that you can talk to. Okay. Go ahead and do F. And if you're feeling inclined, share a couple of words that you're using down here in chat group. Maybe somebody might be stuck on a word and they need a positive word for themselves. Well, thrive definitely gives us energy. So for E, I'm definitely putting in energetic. And I may come up with more than just one word for myself here on these. If you're fairly new, this next N, you may be thinking, I don't feel that way just yet, but you are going to feel that way because you are learning each and every single day, and that's natural. It just feels natural when it comes to listening to what people's needs are, and it just comes natural to wanting to help people. And everything will start coming to you naturally. I remember the first few three-way chat groups that I put someone in, or put Tammy in and some other folks. And I was like, how do they know what these people need? They used active listening, and it wasn't about them, the promoter, it's about the customer. And when you use active listening, you will naturally know exactly what to say in order to help these people. That's where it comes from, them becoming a number to it's all about them, because you're taking what it is that they need, and you're completely natural when you are talking to them about, oh my goodness, this is what this will do for you, you know, blah, 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 blah. But you're putting it all back about them. And the last one, T, I bet y'all can't figure out what my first T word was. I actually ended up having 4 T words that just boom, 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 popped right up. Now, you should have gotten all the way down. You should have all of these descriptors of yourself because you are confident. I want you to just kind of glance over them. If there's one that you're like, oh, I'm not really sure of, you can spend a little bit more time working on it, and you can come up with a couple of more words. Does anybody want to unmute and share something that like was an aha for them as far as like a word that you came up with? Oh, Elda, thank you. Investor, inviting, invigorating. Ooh, you know what? I loved inviting. Determined, yes. Oh, okay. Do you know, hadn't even thought about empowered, but we are, because and I know this business has men and women in this business, but if you really think about what this business has done for women, it has empowered us, because every single person that I've talked to that is a customer or a promoter, they have found a confidence in themselves that they didn't ever have before. I mean, y'all, I taught school for 26 years. Jumping on an airplane, booking a ticket, jumping on an airplane by myself, flying across the country would have scared the bejesus out of me. It is nothing big for me to now tell my husband, oh, guess what? I'm going to go to Texas. He's like, you are? Yeah, I booked a ticket. I've already booked my rental car. Y'all, I would have never done that pre-Thrive because I didn't have the confidence. This product empowers us to help so many people in addition to what it's empowered ourselves to be. And that boggles my mind. And yes, I'm getting emotional because it just gets me in the feels. Lisa, I love that. Tough and tenacious. True. And with this business, you have to be true to yourself, because if you're trying to be somebody you're not, and I think we've all been there at the point where, we see this leader, oh, I want to be like that. This leader, I want to be like that. This leader, I want to be like that. But you know what? We have to be who God made us to be, because he didn't make us to be a copycat of somebody else. He made us to be us, and he's going to equip you with everything you need. You got confidence. Fun, nice. Well, Sonia, sometimes I don't know if I'm very nice or not. I'm going to write all these down, but I loved that empowered. So I want you to keep this. Mine's on a note card, but I want you to keep this. Put this, oh, a new you. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love these ideas. Put this on your vision board, or put this in front of where your desk is, or wherever you sit and you do your work, or slide it inside your notebook. And if you're having a day where you're like, I just don't know if I can do this today. I don't know if I can do this today. This is basically a part of your I ams. I am confident because I am caring. I'm organized. I recognize the opportunities. I recognize that there are numerous opportunities for me to be able to branch out and step way outside my comfort zone. I'm fun. So y'all, if you get stuck on a day, this can be your I ams. Any last minute thoughts before we close this out? I'll say this, and then if anybody else has a thought, I want you to pop in here. Next Wednesday is the last day of the month. That's 7 days. Y'all, we know crazy things can happen in 7 days. We know that. So if you are shy of your goal, there are 2 things that I want desperately, but I'm not going to sacrifice a person just in order to get it. I'm going to still keep my focus on helping people get what they need, but I'm head down. Well, now I have the babies tomorrow, so you all know I'm going to be like, wow, crazy. And, but I'm head down because I know where I want some things to hopefully fall into place by next Wednesday. Now, next Wednesday, we will still be on here for power planning. I know it's the last day of the month, and that makes it crazy and insane. But you know what? We're going to not only be finishing up March, we're going to be talking about some things that you can do that can continue to make you grow as you get into April. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great night. Anything else for the good of the cause before we end the recording? Anybody want to pop open and unmute and say anything? Look at Sonia back there. She's tight-lipped. All right. Okay, class. All right, Tammy. Yes. See you all tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.